My boyfriend cheated on me, and a ghost told me all about it. My name is Maya. I was 22 years old when I moved into my first apartment. I was proud of myself. I was finally living alone. Of course, I missed my parents. I missed my mom's cooking and my dad's bad jokes. I spent the whole weekend decorating. I filled the place with flowers because they made the rooms feel less empty. I hang pictures of my family, my friends, my dog from high school. I wanted it to feel more like home. That night, I went to the fridge to get something to drink. That's when I saw it. A yellow sticky note on the fridge door. It said, "Welcome to your new apartment." It was strange, but I didn't think much of it. I figured the landlord had left it there to be nice. Maybe he did that to all new tenants. The next day, my boyfriend Jake called to ask me out on a date. I quickly took a shower. After all, who would say no to free dinner and a night away from unpacked boxes? I got dressed. I picked out a red dress and I put on a red lipstick. As I was leaving my room, I saw another sticky note. This one was on the bathroom mirror, stuck right at eye level. It said, "The red lipstick looks good on you." A second note, my heart dropped. The door was locked. The windows were closed. I live in the third floor. I told myself to calm down. Maybe the previous tenant really liked sticky notes. Maybe she used them as a reminder. Maybe she forgot to take them down. That's what I tried to believe. Before I left, I went to the fridge for a bottle of water. There was another sticky note on the fridge door. It said, "I hope you're not going to that date without your jacket. It's cold outside." My hands started shaking. It was cold outside, and I forgotten my jacket. I screamed into the empty apartment. "Whoever is doing this, it's not funny." My voice bounced off the wall and came back to me. No one answered. I called Jake and explained everything. Even so, I still went to the date. Jake came over after the date. He tried to be logical. He said it was probably a neighbor playing a prank. He said we should check the apartment together. We walked through every room, the closet, the shower, under the bed, the kitchen cabinet, nothing. Then Jake looked up. On the ceiling, directly above the couch, were 3 more sticky notes. Jake pulled a chair over and read them out loud. He's lying. He wasn't at work last night. Ask him about the motel on the 8th. He said your name wrong in his sleep. I turned to look at Jake. His face had gone completely white. Jake had told me he was working last night. Had he been at the motel on the 8th? Jake got angry. He said this was insane. He accused me of planting these notes myself. He looked at me and said, "Are you trying to play a prank on me? What is this?" He slammed the door so hard that the pictures on the wall shook. Then he left. I went to sleep terrified that night. I locked the main lock, slid the safety latch, and pushed a chair under the doorknob. I slept with the lights on and a kitchen knife under my pillow. I didn't sleep at all. Following day, I went to an electronics store the second it opened. I bought 3 security cameras. I was determined to find out who was doing this. I spent 6 hours setting them up. 1 on the front door, 1 in the living room facing the kitchen, and 1 in my bedroom facing the bed. All of them connected to an app on my phone. That night, I sat on my bed and waited. Knife in one hand, a phone on the other. Every shadow made me jump. At 1:30 a.m., my phone buzzed. Motion detected. I opened the app with my thumb shaking. The bedroom was empty on camera. Just my bed, my nightstand, and the shadows. But on my nightstand, right next to the glass of water I'd poured, was a new sticky note. It wasn't there seconds earlier. I had been staring directly at that spot, waiting for something to happen. I watched the footage again. The note was there. No door opened, no windows open. No one walked into frame. It just appeared. I picked up the note with 2 fingers like it might bend me. It said, "You're smarter than I thought. I like that." After I saw the recording, I called my parents. I was sobbing. I told my mom I thought the house was haunted. I said a ghost was leaving me notes and watching me sleep. But my mother didn't agree. My mother was calm. My mother said, "Maya, listen to me. Someone might be in there with you and you think it's a ghost. Call the police right now." I listened to my mom and I called the police. When the cops arrived, the 2 officers searched the entire apartment. They checked the closets, the vents, and the balcony. They dusted for fingerprints. All they found were sticky notes. A dozen of them, hidden behind the fridge, under the couch, and taped inside the kitchen cabinets. Every single of them detailed my daily schedule, what time I woke up, what time I ate breakfast, and when I left for work. One officer turned to me and said, "Miss, are you sure you didn't write this yourself?" I felt stupid and confused. In that moment, the handwriting on the sticky note suddenly looked like my own. But I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew I hadn't written them. As soon as the cops left, I called the landlord. My hands were still shaking. The landlord answered on a second ring. When I told him what happened, he was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "I had hoped you'd call. You are the 3rd person to live in that apartment since a young lady who lived there passed. I had hoped it was nothing, but now I'm starting to think that place is haunted." The next day, I moved out and went to Jake's place. When I arrived, I found him with another girl. I didn't even yell. I just walked out. I realized the ghost has been right about him. I went back to my parents' house. I stayed there for 2 months. I later moved into a new apartment. On my first night there, I went to the fridge to get a drink. There was a sticky note on the door. It said, "Welcome to your new apartment." I froze. My heart stopped. I couldn't breathe. Then I heard a laughter behind me. I turned around and I saw my sister. My sister had flown all the way from France to surprise me and congratulate me. My sister was holding a pack of sticky notes. She said, "I heard about the sticky note story. Don't worry, I was just pulling a leg." I hugged my sister and laughed until I cried. But then later that night, my sister went to sleep. I checked under the pillow, just in case.